You've made it to another Draw With Me video, welcome in. Today I'm having a work session featuring a zine piece and a website design. For this zine piece, I'm finalizing a background character, and for the website I'm concepting a couple frames. I'll talk about my art and decision process as I make some progress on these. For the background characters of the zine piece, they are all creatures found in Orchard Town. It's a fantasy world that I've been building based on Welsh folklore and my own queer and trans storytelling. I've decided to make this character one of Apple's siblings, named Honey. She is a yellow apple dragon. Honey is so sweet, but she's also really high energy, and she loves love and also performance. You'll usually find her at theaters, often where she's watching the latest shows. You can see that I've changed her color to yellow because I had a placeholder kind of silhouette going on here. She has a lot of similar characteristics to her father, like her color and her hair, her shorter horns and her shorter tail, but she's the tallest kid out of the apple bunch, and she has huge wings too, which makes her silhouette kind of hard to draw, but I love her. She's one of the kids of the apple orchard family, which consists of Apple, the Welsh red apple dragon. That is the main character of this scene piece you saw earlier before I did a little zoom in. But also there is Honey, and then Apple and Honey's half-sibling named Diamond, and then both of their parents. Their father is a apple dragon as well. He is a yellow apple dragon. And then their mother is a giant, literally one of the giants. She's so tall you can't see her face because her head is in the clouds, but everybody loves her and thinks that she's so beautiful. I think for one of the other characters that I'll draw in the background next to Honey, it'll either be maybe their dad or it will be maybe their sibling Diamond. I'm not quite sure yet, but I think it would be fun to feature both of them, or maybe all three if I'm really feeling fun about it. I don't know that I'll fit Apple's mom into this photo because I don't really know how to draw her next to other characters if she's that tall, you know? And think about the really tall lady from the Powerpuff Girls. I never really watched the show, but I've seen clips of just tiny little mare and big secretary, and that's the kind of dynamic that I wanted the Apple family to have for both of the parents, and I thought that was quite fun. With Honey being the tallest Apple sibling of the bunch, she definitely gets her height from her mom. Apple, not so much. Apple is 4 feet tall canonically, unless there is the other forms that they can shapeshift into if they have eaten enough good food and sweet fun treats, but for now usually 4 feet tall. So having a sibling who is nearly twice as tall as them, I'm sure is quite interesting, and has huge wings. I like to think that she might be the only Apple family member that might be able to fly with her wings just because of the proportions of them. I'm tinkering with her outfit right now. I'm thinking I'm going to give her a dress because I think that would be fun. With this zine piece being focused on fashion, it's been really interesting trying to figure out what clothes to put on creatures. I have a lot of shape language learning to do for all of the creatures because they're not humanoid usually, or some of them are and some of them aren't, or a mix of the two. I like to call the unhumanoid versions their full creature form. And then they've got the ones that are humanoid. This is mostly because it's easy for me to draw the humanoid figures. So there can be more different forms for Honey to come, I think, where she will be less humanoid and more creatureified. And I'm excited about that. There are some different forms that include the Apple siblings. Like Diamond has an alternative form that I've decided upon. Apple has a few different forms that I've decided upon, like the full dragon form, which has 2 heads, and then also some other variants of full dragon form, and then like golden apple, and then also there is the Hydra apple, where it's all 3 apple siblings together, and then the dragon has 3 heads. It's so cool, especially because the apple siblings have 3 different colors with the yellow, green, and red apple variants. For world building right now, there seems to be some etchings in my brain of pink apples, but also some other variants in different colors. Also, just trying to keep it fun, like rainbow apple. I think Neopets energy. Something tossing around in my brain because there's so many different apple names and different apple colors, and it's fun to learn more about apples themselves as I keep building out apple lore and learning more about apples, the fruit themselves, where they come from, how they're developed, why are some apples green and some apples aren't. So it's just been really fun learning about all the little ins and outs of apples, and I'm sure I have so much more to learn. If you have any favorite apple variants or unique apple colors or names, experiences that you want to share with me, I'd be really excited to hear about them. If you have any recommendations or something you'd like to see, I'd love to toss it around in my brain. I'll leave you with some music while I wrap up honey for this zine piece, and then I'll pipe back up whenever I start the website design. Welcome back. I'm now going to start on working on the website design. I'll pop up the zine piece over on the left so you can get a little bit more of a feel for the piece as a whole, but I'll also then full screen the website design later on so you can get the little details as we move along in the piece. For website design, what I'm interested in doing is bringing out more of the flavor for the world building and the underlying currents for the stories, and also just the vibes for the world that I am creating. A lot of my art is really adorable. I'm decently good at drawing circles, and so a lot of my art just looks really stinking cute all of the time. But a lot of the storylines are not adorable. They are high fantasy and more along the lines of Brothers Grimm fairy tale stories rather than happy and adorable. So I'm trying really hard to build in more of the intensity, flavor into the artwork that I'm drawing. And I'm looking to host a website so that I can have control over everything that I can have my hands on. I'm not interested in having ads on my website, anything that's not made by people. And if I do it all myself, that means that it's all made by people. Even when sometimes I consider myself more of a creature. I'm excited to get more progress done on this piece, and we're building out frames. I'm starting with a couple of just the classic shapes, seeing what kind of ideas I want to do. I'm looking at building different frames for different about sections, so things like the bestiary and the world map, the about, the oddities, the merch, all that jazz. And so in order to make those happen, I have to pull something out of my brain. And one of the things I'm interested in learning more about is how to do ornate design, I think is the way that I'm trying to use words. I think those are the words for it. And it doesn't come immediately naturally to me. So it'll be really cool, fun learning experience. I think it gives me a unique opportunity, as it not coming naturally to me, to give it my own flair, kind of blend it with something. And you'll see that I start adding creature concepts to these as I find some shapes that I might like to start with for the frame and then build out. I kind of see some shapes and go, oh, well, this ornate kind of shape I was trying to draw looks kind of like a paw. What if I just add a paw? That's kind of what I'm doing here, is designing creatures, making creatures based off of my interpretations of Welsh folklore. The neighbor has decided that it is their time to mow the lawn while I'm recording, so I'm going to leave you with some more music while you get to see some claws and teeth and bird feet on the screen as I pull those out of my brain, and just kind of tinkering with what makes the shapes that I like to see the shapes that I can make myself. Thank you so much for joining me. It's lovely to have you along for this as I keep building this Draw With Me series. Let me know if you have any suggestions for things you would like to see coming up. I've got some cool, neat Hobbit themed project and also zine piece wrap up, and then some website design and whatever else I feel like working on. So if you have any ideas or suggestions for things you'd like to see, resources, music, and all that jazz, I'd love to hear about them. I'll see you in the next video.